Hey guys, back with another collective reading. Okay. Don't know which deck I should go into. But this is surrounding a married couple, okay, who works in law enforcement, somewhere within law, okay, who has got involved in trying to steal or has stolen somebody else's wealth. The Karmic trench. Okay, and what they've done when they've stolen someone else's generational wealth, okay, that could be stolen work, alright, and they've straight up copy and pasted that and monetized off that, okay, so stolen wealth. And what these dark karmics have done is there's got like industries under investigation, alright, so corrupt law enforcement, and they're set up, okay, between solicitors, you know, you name it, 111, involved in some major corruption. Okay, they've been going to assistants. Someone is going to a magic practitioner to get help to cast a spell on you. A lot of reckless magic. Someone is out of control and doing anything to any and everyone they want without having remorse. And they're doing this out of jealousy. Someone is jealous of who you are and the accomplishments you've made. So they got involved in straight up copy and pasting somebody else's work, monetized off that, okay, and then done a lot of demon magic. Somebody's conjuring demons to block your blessings and bring harm your way, alright? And then we've got binding spells. Somebody's using spell work to keep you from using your personal powers. Then we've got vampire. Somebody's siphoning your energy for their own advantage. Wow. Then we have silent white worker. Okay, someone around you is doing white magic in secret to help you without your knowledge, which is great. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ, 222, for these white workers. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ for these white workers. So the light will be illuminated in your situation. What is done in the dark will come to light. So what they've done is they have been battling for generational wealth, what is not actually theirs to keep. Okay, so putting someone under major spiritual warfare, psychological warfare, conjuring up demons out of jealousy because of the accomplishments, yet they've snatched everything off that person, alright? I've been going to assistants, doing a lot of demon magic, okay? And I wanted to keep it a secret. Understanding. Okay. Then we've got greed. They are struggling with mammon. That's what it is. And these demons, what they've conjured up towards the divine masculine, divine feminine, these karmics, yeah, who's been put in divine masculine, divine feminine, like literally dragging their name through the mud. And I mean absolutely dragging divine masculine, divine feminine's name through the mud whilst they're doing all this sick shit. Yeah. Greedy. We've got danger. What they have done is extremely dangerous. We've got justice. Justice will be served. Justice will be served. But these very demons, what they've conjured on up, yeah, are the very demons what's going to devour them. Restrain. So what they did in order to steal someone else's generational wealth and everything from them is they pinned that person down, restrained them, yeah, dragged them around, treated them like pure shit, all for the love of generational wealth, what's not theirs. And there's a married couple involved who works in law enforcement. History. Maybe this is going to go down in history. This is going to go down in history. For some, you may have found something historical, okay? May have solved some like historical type of crimes for some historical type of crimes, and they could be jealous, okay? So corrupt law enforcement could be jealous of somebody solving crimes. That is for some. Battling, Armageddon. And conjuring up demons to block blessings. Partnership and empathy. 555, so they've done this to an empath. Someone who is very sensitive to energy, and maybe they know that too. That somebody is very sensitive to energy, a very sensitive type of person, but they're like, we don't care. We're going to do a shit ton of reckless magic, all out of jealousy. We're going to suck their energy dry because we want their energy and we want their natural skills and the energetic field, what they possess. Then they're conjuring up magic, binding spells, then pinning that person down to take everything. So probably armed robbery, strength and turmoil. They've been putting this divine masculine or divine feminine in absolute turmoil because they're very greedy. They persuaded other people to work with them, to do some severe corrupt things because they're jealous of someone else's success. So they want that success for themselves. Straight up copy and paste, alright? Take absolutely everything, 0707, everything they can, restrain this person, pin this person down, drag this person all around, and do some 6666 shit. And then they start celebrating. They have no empathy themselves. They have no remorse. It was their choice to join on in, yeah? Honesty. The person who's speaking the truth and being honest about what's going on down, yeah? They just want to create upheaval. And they're seducing each other with lies. Seducing each other with lies. Seducing each other with lies. Alright. Misfortune. So what they've done, if they've took someone else's great fortune, alright, pinned that person down, because obviously it's corrupt law, alright, pin that person down, drag that person around for trying to defend themselves. They've treated this person like pure shit. This divine masculine, divine feminine could be focusing on healing right now. We've got sister love. Even a sibling has been involved. The ones who you think you can trust are not to be trusted. The ones who you thought, who divine masculine and divine feminine, and again this is a collective reading, it's not going to resonate with everybody, but everyone around this divine masculine, divine feminine who they had some love for has been involved. We've got Gretel. I'm getting like breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing. Memory. They've tried to wipe the person's memory. Divine masculine, divine feminine's memory also. Memory spells. Because they want divine masculine, divine feminine to forget about what they've done and say no more about it. What do you mean? Jealousy. Poisoned apple. Jealousy again. Jealous. Wow. Jealousy. With this war, they've created a lot of wounds. A lot of wounds. A lot of wounds. Just shocking. A lot of breadcrumbing. A lot of breadcrumbing. A lot. And with what they've done, these karmics, and this corrupt law enforcement, with pinning divine masculine or divine feminine down and taking everything they can, yeah, and I mean ransacking, taking absolutely everything they can out of spite and jealousy, and then shaking hands with everyone they can, making deals and getting them to spiritually attack divine masculine, divine feminine, because they want to cover up what they've done. Ungrounded. Oh my Lord. They've tried to make divine masculine, divine feminine appear ungrounded. Or maybe 1122 with a level of spiritual attacks. They don't want divine masculine, divine feminine to ground themselves. So could have even stolen crystals. You know, like, they've stolen my crystals, amethyst, real amethyst crystals, real rose quartz and stuff like that, to stop me from meditating, to stop me from balancing my chakras and stuff like that, because they're not very well in their heads, these people. Tired of the drama. They're nothing but drama starters, trouble causers, copycats. They're all toxic, but they prefer toxic people. They prefer toxic people. They prefer toxic relationships. Very, very toxic. And I mean extremely toxic. Destroyed. Shattered, broken. They could even be turning around and say, I hate nothing about you. I hate nothing about this divine masculine, divine feminine. Oh. Well, why have they gone to these lengths to steal everything off of the divine masculine, divine feminine, go to assistants to do magic, black magic, okay, out of jealousy and spite of someone else's achievements and accomplishments, and snatch everything off them, straight up copy and paste that, loves to be toxic. So we've got a very toxic married couple involved who works in law. Very, very toxic. One second. Very toxic. Major level of corruption. And obviously, if these people work in law enforcement, then they do need to lose their jobs, because this is absolutely disgusting. Right, so this just came through. I don't know if you can see it. Grand larceny. It just came through, and I thought, right, I'm gonna grab my laptop. Alright? Okay? Grand larceny is a crime of stealing something of significant value, often a felony, and distinguished from petty larceny by the value of stolen property. Examples including a theft of a car or a large amount of money. Grand theft, okay? The core of grand larceny is the theft of something considered to be of a high value. So it's a high value, it's grand larceny. But like I say, you know, obviously that just came and I thought I'm going to have to run it in my search engine. Alright. Grand larceny. Large scale of financial fest. Well, they could have gone to a festival and it's a shit fest, right? But we've got, where was it? Embezzled a large sum of money or stealing a significantly large amount of cash. Okay? Theft from a building, stealing valuable items from a commercial or residential building. Oh yeah, this is it. It's a significant amount of money and quite possibly a property also. So they could have pinned someone down, alright, restrained that person, slung that person out of the home so they can sell that home and monetise off a property what was not even theirs to snatch and sell 1616. What was not even theirs to sell. So, the Theft Act, 1968. Wow. Wow. But I'm getting, again, it is multi-millions of pounds. It's a large amount of money. Wow. So yeah, it's grand larceny. Because like I say, it just came into my head. They've been straight up copy and pasting someone else's work. Alright? They're very toxic and they try to destroy the person who they've stolen from by dragging the name through the mud and dragging that person round, yeah, treating them like a piece of shit, all from jealousy. And this is law enforcement who's got involved in this and they're being caught. Finding evidence, getting caught, trying to cheat the system, alright? Trying to cheat their way out of the situation, so they could be, yeah? Trying to sleep with certain people in law enforcement and stuff like that. Sexual activities in order to get away with serious crimes. 1818, I don't know what that's bloody called, but obviously if you are like an undercover investigator or something like that and you work within law, you're going to know what it's called. Game over for these folks. Because there's a shit ton of evidence and they've been getting recorded, alright? We've even got fake friends involved in this, and we've got a sibling, alright, involved in this. We've got married, corrupt law enforcement involved in this. They've been getting recorded, alright? Phone calls have been getting recorded. Fake friends are involved, okay? So keep practicing praying to the Most High, yeah? And it's time to sit back and watch this all crumble and crash to the ground. They just wanted to fulfill a fantasy, alright? 1919. It was a lot of money, you see. A lot of straight up copy and pasting. A lot of straight up copy and pasting. Someone else's full life and wanted to just straight up like pin that person down, drag them all over, treat them like a piece of shit because they wanted to fulfill a fantasy. Because I thought, well, if I have all this money, I can get all these chicks hanging off my arm and, you know, I can get all these sexual favours done. Keep fighting for what you love, claiming what's yours. Love is a battlefield, okay? There's been a lot of battling against the devil. Battling against the devil, because these people are envious. Some of you may already know the tea. They have tried to burn evidence, and because they're really good at acting like nothing's ever happened, they're putting on a jolly good bloody show, yeah? In 2020, and these men who's got involved in this, they're spending it all on women. Okay, this sister or this fake friend could have tried to sleep with divine masculine, divine feminines like other half, okay? Because they're jealous and envious, alright? And they've got involved in this criminal activity. Yeah, look, we've got love story and cheating. So divine masculine or divine feminine, while they're going through all this and trying to get justice, has been getting cheated on. Could be a divorce going down. So the corrupt law enforcement people who are married, alright, and they've been doing these sick things, they've been getting cheated on as well, so they're going to get divorced. 21. Absolutely shocking. We've got run away. They could be trying to run away and go abroad or something like that with this money, stolen money, embezzlement and all stuff like that, and it could be trying to go abroad before the situation explodes. No way. No way. And they're going to get a bugaboo abroad, one of these masculines, okay? One who wears red lipstick, get a bugaboo abroad. No way, no way, and no way. I cannot even believe that men will do this to like women, yeah? I can't believe these fake ass sisters would do this to the other sister or brother, because it's disgusting, all the twos there. You could be tired of the drama, okay? You could be tired of these people who straight up copy and paste, and because they're all under investigation, yeah, their bank accounts are going to get shut down. They are nothing but a hater, and you could be trying to set the record straight, and so could these undercover investigators. Never! Thank God for these good undercover investigators who are setting the record straight, knowing that these people are a bunch of haters, knowing that they're nothing but a copycat. Again, maybe you're tired of the drama because you're battling against the Armageddon, battling against a lot of people. And it's game over for them, because they're all going to get arrested. They're all going down. Wow. Wowie, wowie, wowie. They've created so much upheaval. And what they've done, because they do a lot of spell casting as well, they seduce people with lies. Seduce them with lies. Seduce them all with lies. Yeah. Men and women involved, all going down, okay? And, well, you know, like corrupt, like law enforcement and stuff like that, when they get locked up and stuff, people in the prisons and what have you, they all turn against them as well. Yeah, they do. They do. They thought they was entitled. Wow. They really thought they was entitled. They thought they was entitled to pin somebody down, yeah, restrain them and take absolutely everything from them. And they thought there was entitled to do all this dark magic on the person who's speaking the truth. And do you know what? I can't even make these readings up. This is absolutely disgusting. It's sinister. Then on any of these psychics, yeah, who know the truth, they go under attack as well, because they want these psychics to appear ungrounded, yeah, and they'll say, look at this psychic, they're just struggling with mental health, don't listen to them. They're disgusting, aren't they? my level of understanding, these people are demonically possessed. They are demonically possessed. They've done that much black magic, they're not even themselves anymore because they've been taken over by a negative entity and now they are just vessels. Loving elements. Focus on loving yourself, okay? I'm getting divine masculine, divine feminine with the fairies around them. They've got even fairy spirit guides. Being surrounded by angelic presence, yeah. Able to be between both worlds, the physical and the spiritual. And that's why they've been doing spiritual warfare, but this game's over. This game's over. It's over. This game is over. And quite possibly, divine masculine, divine feminine, somebody who was in and around some similar type of corruption, you could have turned this divine masculine, divine feminine into a bloody Buddha. Turning people into Buddhas, caught in the ruins. They're all going to get arrested. They're all going to get locked up. You know, maybe people in your hometown, your city, state, continent, neighbours, you know, people in the local area, they know a lot of what's been going on. They know a lot of what's been going on surrounding this theft and the level of deception and the obsession they have. The divine masculine or divine feminine and what they are doing. They even want divine masculine, divine feminine's voice. Nowhere. Nowhere and nowhere. That's why people could be experiencing a lot of throat chakra magic also, because they're jealous of your voice, the way you speak or the way you sing. Anything like that, it's absolutely disgusting. And then they want to make out like they don't hate nothing about this divine masculine, divine feminine who they've stolen from and got involved in pinning that person down and taking absolutely everything they can. The Ark of Covenant, they've even got people linking to churches, Catholic churches, you know, stuff like that, maybe even Latter-day Saints or something like that, or it could be linking to some sort of Catholic church where they have got these dark demonic Catholics who do black magic 28 to come against divine masculine, divine feminine too. They'll use anybody they can, these karmics. Anybody they can. Jealous of the connection that divine masculine, divine feminine has to the divine. Jealous of the power divine masculine, divine feminine possess. But look how many people turned against Jesus because they were jealous of Jesus. Jealous of Jesus. Jealous of his gifts. Jealous of his healing abilities. Jealous, we've got Raphael there because that's the Raphael. I don't think you can see it. Damn, I need a better camera. Yeah, but jealous of Jesus. Jealous of the divine connection. They could have actually tried to sacrifice divine masculine, divine feminine, and if there's child or children involved, child and children have been sacrificed too. Because they're vile. They're vile. Shocking. I've got the number 6 there, so this could be going on for 6 years plus. All the, you know, trying to fixing divine masculine, divine feminine shit. On track in reverse, trying to derail divine masculine, divine feminine, constantly dragging divine masculine, divine feminine's name through the mud while they're doing all this sick shit, while they're doing grand larceny. Grand larceny. 30-30. Okay, so I'm going to leave that reading there. Sending peace, love and light.